Hello everyone! Welcome to Piccadilly Stampin'. I'm Pamela Pick. So if you're new to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any of my tutorials. Leave a comment down below if you like what I did today. So today I have one of my quick videos. The fun thing about this is it's so stinking simple. Anyone can do it. Well, I guess I would say you would need a Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, but other than that, you can. So if you like my videos, please get in on getting my supply list, some photographs, the dimension of the cards that I make, and the video that you're watching right now by signing up for my email, www.piccadillystampin.blogspot.com. Okay, let's get started here. Today I'm going to use this really fun paper. This is the Thoughtful Journey. It is a 6x6 DSP, and it has all of these like water impressioned kind of sceneries. In fact, let's just take this one here. We're going to take this one for today's card. My package is coming off. There we go. And then I'm also going to be using the Timber 3D embossing folder. So I already have the card embossed to make this one of my quick videos. I do want you to notice that this embossing folder goes side to side, and I wanted, my card is going to be a portrait, so I wanted it this direction, up and down. So that's why I laid my cardstock in this direction versus this direction. And then I'm going to be using the Frosted Forest bundle. Now you get the stamp set and the dies at a 10% discount if you buy them together. Okay, let's get going. Let's pull out our project box. I've got all kinds of goodies in here, and I went ahead and pre-cut some images. So I've got this image of a tree, and that goes with this die cut. And then I have another die cut. Oh, it's stuck in here still. So let me grab the Take Your Pick tool. Carefully put that one out. So we've got two little trees which match this perfectly. I cut them out in Mossy Meadow. So move this aside. And I am using boho blue for my card base. So let's just start right there. I like to line the ends up like this with my fingers, placing it down, put my fingers in the center, use my thumbs to push it down so that I get that nice straight edge at 4 1/4. Okay, so like I said, we're going to be doing a portrait card, and just for a little texture, I use that timber. And let me find some adhesive here. We're just going to use some of this Tombow liquid glue. This boho blue piece is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. But again, sign up for my emails and you'll get all that information plus whatever the specials are with Stampin' Up, the photographs. Okay, so now we've got our card base. Let's set this aside. The next step is to, just gonna set these over here. Let's bring in our trimmer. And we want to look at where we want to cut this DSP and what we want to use. So I definitely like these trees over here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this at 3 1/4. So let me see if I like what this looks like. So I set this at 3 1/4. Yeah, I like that. So let's go with that. We'll cut that down. Then I've got another piece I can use for another project. And then I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to cut this at 4 1/2. So 4 1/2. So 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. Okay, and then we'll use this. Actually, let's use this. I do like that purple. So let me just cut while I've got this out here, this scrap piece. I'm just going to cut off a 1/2 inch off the end because I love that color on that piece of scrap. And we'll use that on our inside for our card. Isn't that great? That's so pretty. Okay, so while we have that, let's pull out our little die cuts. And I can see I've got one little piece here. There we go. And I'm gonna kind of fold these up just ever so slightly. So some of them are more up than others. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this piece right here. Okay, there we go. Now I'm gonna use the Tombow glue because I don't want this completely down. In fact, I want to look at how I might want to arrange this. Maybe in between those trees and then this one kind of off. Yeah, I think that looks good. So I'm going to come down the center because this stuff holds very well. And I'm just going to do a small little line. Don't need much. And then I'll get a few of these, especially more kind of at the bottom. I'm not going to go all the way to the edges because I want those to kind of, can you see that? I just have a little bit on there, but that's enough. And let's kind of position this one in between. Okay, it went its own direction. That's fine. It's nature, right? Nothing is absolutely perfect in nature. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So since this doesn't have like a center line in it, I'm just going to, see how that's just very rugged and crude on there? I'm almost kind of smearing it, but I'm leaving those edges open. And that looks pretty good. Okay. Perfect. So we're going to let this dry, and I am going to take, this is just a scrap piece, and it is, about 3/4 inch, maybe 3 7/8, somewhere in there. And, it's about 3 1/4, which is fine. And I have the sentiment from the stamp set. It says, thinking of you and how you strengthen my life. So I'm going to take that, and I think what I will do is just use Memento Black. So this is the Tuxedo Black ink, and I will line this up on my grid here and ink this. You could do this in even the Mossy Meadow. That would be a dark green that would work, or the early espresso, kind of give it a woodsy look, but I'm not too worried. I think what I'm going to do is stamp this in the center. There we go. I should have used my Stampin' Pierce mat, but I'm going to hold that and give that a good strong press without rocking it. And there it came out just fine. So, okay. Let's see, we'll do this the old-fashioned way this time. I think what I'll do is just kind of cut up the center here and make a little flag ending like that. Okay. Now on this piece, I really liked that purple. This is the kind of fresh freesia and petunia pop mix. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this at the top. Now this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/2. And what I'm going to do is glue it down here. You could do the other side too if you wanted to, but I kind of like that pop of purple myself. So I'm going to put this on here like so. And it's a great fit. Tapping it down so I know I've got it straight on my bottom of my card. There we go. And then I can put this right on the inside, and that brings a little of the color from the outside of the card onto the inside. So we'll do that. It's a great way to use up some of that DSP, those scraps, too, is to just decorate the inside of the card with it. Adding that little extra homemade touch that you don't get when you shop at the card stores, or guess I don't want to say that store-bought cards aren't nice, but we're in the business of making homemade ones, right? So I have a fresh freesia mat that's cut at 3 3/8 by 4 5/8 that I'm going to actually put this on, because I think that little bit of fresh freesia color coming through is so gorgeous. So using some of my Tombow liquid glue, this stuff is so sticky and it works so well in humid climates like mine. And if you notice, I always leave like a quarter edge. I put a small bead, but I leave like a quarter edge. It'll hold the paper just fine. But that way, if you have to, like you see I got too close to this end, I can move that around now. Get this kind of lined up so I have an even border on all edges. And that glue did not smear around to my outside edge. That's why I do that. Okay, give that a good press. So I think while we're sitting here, yeah, I'm gonna like this. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna use some more of this, and I'm gonna just liquid glue, and I'm just going to, since this has an embossed center on it that it's going to be placed on with those grooves, I definitely want to add just a little bit more adhesive than I normally would. This gives me just a little time to move it into place, but that extra adhesive helps give a nice firm hold. Isn't this gorgeous? I love it. Okay, now I'm smashing it down, but we're gonna pick that up here in a minute. So let's find some dimensionals for this. And let's put, oops. One more, come on, there we go. Let's place this. And I like to just take it from this whole centered bit and just break that up by having this kind of come out. So I'm going to come out to that 4-inch border where I have the embossing and laying this over. So you can still get some of that purple color showing through. And I'm going to grab, this is just some linen thread. And I'm going to make just the teeniest, I like to pull it straight before I do this. And then I'll make this the teeniest little bow. I did not plan to have my nails match this, but look at that. I've got purple nails today, which goes so good with boho blue. I'm going to go a little bit smaller. And then using my snips, I'm going to snip this kind of a little shorter here. And I'll take a glue dot and just roll this up with my fingernail. Placing that right there. And then that right on top of it. So again, this was just the linen thread. Okay, and then using the adhesive back dragonflies and birds, I felt like birds would be appropriate for our little scene. So I'm going to grab them. And I think what I'll do is I'm going to grab this smaller one here. And let's have this kind of landing on the top of that tree. And then one of these that are kind of flying in the air here. And then last but least, let me come in here. Here's our tree, and I want to foof up all of these little branches. Now, I'm going to foof them up pretty big because when this flies through the mail, it's going to flatten out again. So I want it to have some life when by the time it gets there to whoever I'm sending this to. Okay, there we go. So you've got that 3D look. Isn't that just adorable? So simple. We just let the DSP do the work, and we just added kind of that 3D element to it. I think it's really adorable. So this card will go out in an email on Friday. Every Friday I do my Monday, Tuesday video. And so if you want the products that I use, the supply list, this video that you're watching right now, it'll be in there for reference. Photographs of the project, and I usually try to have at least 2. Dimensions of how I cut things in here. It'll all be listed in my email. And you can find that at www.piccadillystampin.blogspot.com. You have to sign up for it yourself. I cannot sign you up for it because it's against the law to sign you up for a business email that you did not want to. Now, let me tell you some other things that are going on. Right now, if you ordered from me in July, you can use your $5 off coupons and earn them on DSP and stuff. And actually, DSP is on special. And let me look and see. They have 15% off special starting tomorrow, midnight Mountain Time tonight. And let's see if this one is on there. It is. This DSP is actually on there at 15% off. Plus, if you have your $5 off coupons, you've got a free set of DSP coming towards you at a discounted price. There's several different ones on here. They're from the annual catalog, except for the Winter Meadow carried over, so that's still on the online exclusives. But everything else is from our online, our annual catalog. So it's just these select papers, so definitely check in tomorrow. If you're placing an order under $150, please use this host code. This will get you logged into my perks program, where you actually earn 10% back on every $35 that you purchase. So it'll just automatically, you will be enrolled in that. So that starts tomorrow. Be sure to tell me what you liked about this video. Share it with any friends that you have. I would definitely appreciate that, or any stampers that you know. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I will be back again next week, as well as I have a live on Facebook this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Time. So hope to see you there. Take care. Bye-bye.